record on this computer. So good evening, everyone. Welcome. It's January the 24th. We are so excited for our first Wednesday night training. And I knew we needed a red hot speaker to kind of light some fire under some of our butts, being January. This girl, she's unforgettable. Every time that I think of her, I have so many zany pictures of Shani in my mind. She's like this Instagram goddess, so she always looks like a model in her pictures, the kind that you're just like, oh my God, she can't be real. But in real life, she is hilarious, and she's always doing something zany and completely different to how incredibly, insanely perfect she looks in Instagram. I'll never forget you dancing like Beyonce, ever.
Oh, that's so
in
funny.
fact, I wanted to use that as the poster for, I know I asked you for a nice one, but I was going to do a sneaky switcheroo.
Oh, I would have been so happy.
I know you would have. See, you totally would have. I should have. But I wanted everyone to think we were going to be very proper. So,
okay.
Of course, we're not. But your bio just speaks for itself. It's just like the dream run. If there's ever a life that you can design, that you can just kind of strap on a rocket ship of MLM, network marketing, at your age, and have people understand residual income, the compound effect, work anywhere, work anytime, create a global business without one bit of risk, without, one bit of, well, look, there's some headaches because people are involved, right? There's definitely headaches on this bumpy journey, but there's not the insane risk that goes with all the other things that we get to create when we become really intentional in this business. And it's been just such a pleasure watching this beautiful girl, just kind of the light bulbs keep going off month by month. She just had another aha of what this really is and what could happen when her potential was truly magnified, because her potential's there in whatever she does. But what I saw was this incredible transition of when you went into this servant mode of, oh my God, I get it. It's all about them. It's about over-delivering on the most amazing customer experience. People don't just buy Juice Plus from you. They buy a journey and a culture and a relationship, right? Anyone can cancel a product, but no one wants to cancel a relationship and a journey, and especially a strong culture. And once you started to get that's the key, the foundation, I just saw magic begin to happen, that it's not about the capsules. It's not about the marketing plan. It's not about having the perfect eating plan and Facebook group or any of that. It's just serve those people like never before. So Shani is now 75 club in just under 2 years, an NMD. I think you reached NMD before she'd even been to conference. Which is insane, because in our world it's like conference is everything. You've got to handcuff people, get them to conference, and then they'll get it. So I just love your story. I love what you're attracting and creating around the globe. It's truly global. I know how many countries you're in, but I just want to use our time and hand it over to you. And I'm so, so grateful that of course you agreed to jump on and be psyched, and I know you're going to deliver some amazingness. So handing over to you, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for such a beautiful intro. I feel so special being on Team Spirit training tonight. I'm pumped. I've been so pumped for this call tonight. And I've been just gathering my notes and wondering, like, what am I going to talk about? And I think I've kind of got a rocket up my ass tonight. I'm kind of in kick-ass mode. I've been talking to lots of team over the last couple of weeks, obviously starting back up in the year. And I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of my team just really felt a little bit of a bleh over Christmas time, over New Year's time. I think everyone goes into that mindset over December where it's like, oh, I deserve a break. I'm just going to have some time off. And what I did before Christmas was I went to GoPro in Vegas, which was the most amazing event. It was so, so great. And I really walked out of there. I thought, like, I thought my belief in the industry was a 10 out of 10 going to that event. And I walked out of there just like totally dumbfounded. Like, what did I just sit in? That was incredible. It was so great. And I'm so excited for them to come to Australia this year. Definitely going to be going to the Vegas one again. So I've got my notes from Vegas because I thought, you know, I got a big kick up the arse. I got a big wake up call at that event. So I thought I'd share all my notes with you guys tonight. So I guess like the first thing I've been saying a lot to my team over the last couple of weeks, starting back up in 2018, is like it's the year to really utilize social media. I think 2018 is the year. Like, times are changing so much, and I love talking to old school MLMers that didn't do this with social media, because I take my hat off to them, because I'm so used to the way I do it now. But we're so lucky, and I love how Linda calls us the Brat Pack, because we totally are the Brat Pack. Like, we have this amazing tool, like this amazing resource at our fingertips where we can network with people literally around the globe. Like, I love this business that it's called network marketing. And I always try to explain this to people. Like, you know, I've got this amazing coconut water here, and I buy this coconut water because I see it get advertised. Like, it's on every poster I go and see, like in cafes, or it's on TV, or it's in a magazine. And this company had to market and spend a lot of money to market this for me to be like, I'm going to pick this coconut water. But we have this amazing industry called network marketing, where we don't have to spend a cent on our marketing. We literally just have to network. And that just like, that clicked for me about 6 months into this business, because I was being one of those snobby, like, I don't need a network, I don't need to talk to people, people can come to me. I had that mentality, and man, I had a massive wake up call. I had a really rude awakening when I realized that, holy crap, I could actually explode my business if I just got out there and spoke to people. So I want you guys to really think about how you're going to network this year. And how are you going to do it? Like, there's so many ways to do it. You can do it face to face. You know, you can be at a barbecue and you can meet someone new. You can, you know, go out partying. You can, you know, network with new friends. You can use social media. There are so many avenues now, and there's so many platforms online. I personally love social media, but at the same time, I really love that face-to-face connection. I think that's irreplaceable. That's never going to stop. And because humans crave connection, we love having someone to talk to, or someone to connect with, or someone to resonate with. And so when you're connecting with someone face to face, man, that's like, that is when you get really good at communicating with people, that is when your business will start to explode. So for me, I was always very shy. I still am. I'm so socially awkward. Like, for anyone who's met me in person, I'm so awkward. And I had to get really good at talking to people. I was a complete idiot and I didn't know what to do with my hands. Like, I was just always so nervous. I was a fumbling mess talking to people. So I went out there and taught myself, like, how am I going to learn to talk to people? Because I understand the backbone of this business now. It's network marketing, and I need a network like a boss. So I read this really good book that I'm having a total mind blank about now. How to connect and influence people. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get that. Linda, do you know what that book is called?
Is it How to Make Friends and Influence People?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Carnegie, I think.
Yeah. That book, guys, get that book. Listen to it.
It sounds horrible, but it's very good.
Yeah,
win. So that's it. Not make friends. Win
How
friends.
How to win friends. Yeah. I loved that book because I was so bad at talking to people and making friends. Like, I'm that chick who goes to, or used to go to, a function and just chill in the corner and not talk to anyone. So I had to get really good at that. And I was really nervous in the beginning. But when I got really confident with talking to people and not being like an idiot with my hands and putting them in a normal place, like, that's when it started to get really, really fun. And so just one of the things I learned from GoPro that I really loved was show up like a professional everywhere you go. So I really liked this, and it really resonated with me because your business follows you everywhere you go. So for me, like, the way I post online, I'm thinking business minded. Like, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being unprofessional. Like, when I'm posting online, I'm thinking business. Like, everything that I post online is strategic to attract people to me, to my business. When I'm at an event, I'm I'm thinking about my business. I'm thinking about like, who is that chick? I want to go and meet her. She looks amazing. If I go and talk to her and I really like her and I want her on my team, like I network her. I want to meet her. I want to become her friend. Like I want to pop up everywhere. I want to be on her Facebook news feed. I want to be on her Instagram feed. I want to be in her inbox. I want to be everywhere, so that when I finally get that courage to be like, you know what? You would be so amazing at what I do. Do you know what I do? Do you want to come take a look? It's just like hook, line, and sinker. So I think 2018 is the year to get really good at networking, and not like that sleazy, gross networking, but just being authentic, being really vulnerable, being transparent with people, and just showing up like a professional, and be a master at your art. So I definitely had to get good at networking and talking to people. If that's something that you have to get good at too, like go and read the books or go and find a coach that can help you how to speak. Like definitely invest in that aspect of your business, because that is the backbone to this business, I think. So that was one of the things I took away, because when I was at GoPro, I thought I was really good at speaking to people still, and I'm still learning. Like I'm still trying to get really good at that, and that's just definitely something that I wanted to pass on to my team when I got back from there. So the other thing I've got written down here that I really loved was just being elite of the elite. So I think he was one of the poker players that spoke at GoPro. I can't remember his name now. I didn't write his name. I was a master note taker. I was just writing everything that he was saying, and he sort of explained like his journey through his entire business. Of being a professional poker player. And he said that obviously like being a poker player, it's psychology as well as like being really intelligent with your cards. Like it's not luck at all. It's such a cool mind game. And I didn't know that before then. And he was saying like he used to notice that the same guys would always win. And he'd always walk away from a poker game and being like, why are the same guys always playing and always winning the game? Why am I always losing? What do I need to learn? So he really went and learned his art. He got coaches. He tried to understand the game more, like the psychological aspect of it. And he realized that he had so much to learn, that obviously failing all the time was an opportunity for him to realize that he wasn't doing something right, and he had to go and master that skill. And I thought that really resonated with our industry, because we fail so much in the beginning. We fail so much that people quit. People quit before they even get started, and it totally breaks my heart. And I still to this day get so attached to, like, I get emotional when people leave, and I'm like, no, don't leave. Like, you've just failed twice. Like, you've only failed twice. You've still got 100 failures to go. Like, please don't leave right now. But it's going to happen. But if you can get your team to understand that this whole thing is you failing so that you can learn, like, you've got this thing sorted. So putting that minute aside to really learn your skill and being really coachable, and just saying, anyone on the line as well, just saying to your mentors, your uplines, and just saying, look, I'm so done of failing. Like, I'm ready to be teachable. I'm ready to be coachable. Like, tell me what I've got to do. Like, call me on my shit, pardon my language. And just being really aware that you're not amazing at this in the beginning, and we all have to fail. Because if you think about this, if you start this business and you succeed all the time, then you're never going to get better. You're never going to get good at anything. So I really liked that from him, and that made me kind of realize that although, like, for me in this business, like, I'm so goal orientated. I've got my goals that I want to achieve, and I'm really set on them, and I go hard. Like, I hustle as hard as I can to get those goals. But if I fail, it's okay, because that's an opportunity for me to learn and be like, how could I have done that better? What would I do different next time? What can I teach my team? So don't be afraid of the failures. In fact, look for failure. Look for no's. People who say no to you all the time. Like, if you keep getting no after no after no after no, you're just that one person closer to a yes. And it's so funny for me. Like, I get so many different types of team. Like, I'll get one teamie who will just get yes, 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 yes. Like, all these people who say yes to them. I'm just like, man, you haven't experienced the no's yet. You just wait. And then I'll get someone else who's like, no, 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 no. And they want to quit. They're like on the verge of quitting this business, and they're just hanging there by a thread. And I'm like, what if the next person says yes? What if you just had to experience all these no's for you just to get better and better and better for that person to say yes? So I love no's. If someone says no to me, I don't give up. Like, I think about when Anthony approached me with this business, I said no to him for 6 months. Like, I was like legitimately for 6 months, like, get away from me. I don't want to know anything about this business. I don't care about your little fruit and veggie capsules. Like, get away from me. And I just like think back, and he says this all the time. Imagine if I didn't follow up. Imagine if I didn't do my due diligence and check in with you and see how you were going and catch up with you for that coffee that random time. And I remember he continued to check in with me, even though I said no to him so many times. Imagine if he didn't follow up that last time. So the last time he followed up with me, he was like, you know what? I'm going to take you to my friend Linda's house. I want you to meet a few people. And if you say no after that, then all good. And I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm just going to go to this place so this guy just like leaves me alone. And I remember going to Linda's house and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Why was I saying no to this for so long? Imagine if he didn't follow me up. And the person who says no to you today could be your next NMD. That's what I always say to all of my team, because Lauren King, who went NMD a couple of months ago, she said no to me for about 4 months. She said no to me for a long time, and I kind of Instagram stalked her, so she couldn't get away from me. But I was just so set. Like, I was really like set with my avatar. I was like, I love her. She's really awesome. Like, I just love her vibe. I love what she's about. I love her mission. Like, I know she said no to me a couple of times, but I'm just going to check in with her. And I remember she'd gone to the UK for a trip for Christmas. She came back and I just checked in and I was like, how was your trip to the UK? And she was like, yeah, really good. How are things with you? And I was like, man, things are pumping. Like, you got to come and check this out. It is so cool. She came to an event at Linda's house. And again, she was just like, where do I sign up? This is so cool. So if someone says no to you, don't put them in the no pile. Put them in the no for now pile and continue to do that check-in, because who knows, they could be your next NMD. I think that's so cool. So a really cool statistic that Eric Worre, was that, I've got to remember this correctly, it takes 6 to 7 follow-ups for someone to say yes, on average, 6 to 7 follow-ups. So that means 6 to 7 times you're getting a no, or getting ignored, or saying, I'll get back to you, or whatever the excuses are. Think of 6 or 7 of them. It takes 6, 7 times for you to follow up with someone, for them to be like, okay, you know what? Send me a link. I'm ready to check it out. Or they might see a link and they're like, yeah, you know what? Not right now. Now's not a good time. You've got to follow up again. And then he said, it takes 6 to 7 times for someone to say yes. And then only 44% of people in network marketing follow up after the second time. And I just thought that was nuts. I was like, holy cow. Like, if it's going to take someone to say yes to me after me saying hello 6 or 7 times, however, you know, and I'm not perfect. Like, sometimes someone will say no to me and I'll put them in my no for now pile and I'll fully forget about them, and it won't be until I'm going through my 30-day grids that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been like 7 months and I haven't seen that person. But imagine if you don't follow up. So if you're that person who takes a hit when you get a no and you don't follow up, like, you're doing this business wrong. This business, like, the fortune is in the follow-up. I know we hear that all the time. And whenever I used to hear that, I used to be like, oh my God, shut up. Like, I hear that all the time. The fortune is in the follow-up. I get it. But like, literally, the fortune is in the follow-up, guys. Like, you've got to follow up. And I've even got something on my 30-day grid. Like, I tick someone's name. I've totally gone digital now, by the way, but I used to, like, on my actual grids, I used to tick how many times I had followed up with that person, just to remind me, like, I've only followed up 5 times. I've got 2 more times to go. So take that into account. And if you guys do use 30-day grids or a memory jogger or whatever you guys use to write down all the names of the people who have connected with you, go back. Like, if you've been doing this. Mm-hmm.
I can just feel everyone's just like burning, and they like, I don't want it to move on from this. I want to get this. I want to understand what's the grid. How often do I follow up? How do I not be weird? What do I say? So
okay, I'll rewind.
Because this is brilliant, and it's I love this. It's such a powerful reminder. It's a must. It's a relationship business. It's not the yes and no business. So this is beautiful. And everyone, can you notice, you can just hear that this is part of Shani's DMO. that we call our daily method of operation. She's learned that she's a professional networker. That's her job. It's her job description. She's looking, actively seeking great people and going, I'm going to pop up in your life and I'm going to not be weird and annoying. She called it sleazy. Don't be a sleazy, gross networker versus how to be cool, and it's probably verbiage. And can you kind of draw that out for us a little bit more? And maybe what you think is cool versus stalking, where the line is crossed, and how can we maybe help people with that?
Okay, cool. That's a good question. Yeah, thank you for asking me that, because I would have just gone on a tangent. So I guess, like, when I approach someone if I want them on my team, I obviously pop up in their life everywhere that I can. I friend request them, I Instagram follow them, I'm on, like, liking, commenting everything of theirs. I just want to show up everywhere. I want that Shani Peach notification to be all over their notifications. And the reason I do that is because I just want to be front of mind. And I don't just, like, pop up into their inbox to be like, hey, like, do you know much about my business? Or do you, like, tell me more about you? Like, I'm sort of just like, hey, what's up? Like, that photo's so cool that you just posted. Where are you? What are you up to? Or, like, if they've posted something of their dog, I'm like, how was your dog? What's your dog's name? Like, I just want to genuinely know about them. I'm not trying. My intention when talking to them isn't to get them on my team there and then. It's just to form a relationship. And I have a really cool acronym that I like to follow. It's called FORM, FORM. The F is family. So if it's someone that I know or it's an acquaintance, I ask, like, how their family is. Like, how's your husband? How's your mom? How's your sister? Like, I always ask about family, like, what's going on. O is occupation. So I'll ask them how their job's going. Like, what's new? Like, are you still working at that place? Or something along the lines about work. R is recreational. So, like, I just saw you went on a holiday recently that looked amazing. Like, your photos were so cool. Like, when's your next holiday? Like, I'm just genuinely trying to build a relationship with them. And M is my message. So M is, like, where I'm like, you know what? I just thought of you because, like, you just popped up on my newsfeed, and I don't know if this is, like, really random or not, but I think you would be freaking amazing at what I do. Do you know what I do? And I just drop that line. I just kind of say, like, you would be amazing. I compliment them. I tell them, like, you're intelligent, or you're funny, or you take amazing photos, or, like, you look like you're really health conscious, or whatever, like, whatever the compliment is. Just say, like, you would be amazing at this. Like, you would be a boss at what I do, and I've got to show you what I do because you need this in your life. So I don't know what I guess sleazy would be. What would sleazy be? I can't even think what that would be. Maybe just, like, popping up in someone's inbox. And you know what I hate? Actually, those copy paste, like, that generic copy paste, like, you're a complete random. I've just copied pasted out of the blue. Or even, like, messaging someone out of the blue and being like, hey, I hope you don't mind the friend request, but I found you here and I'm just going to randomly add you. Like, I think it's really important to build a relationship first before, you know, intruding on someone's Facebook friend space. I don't know about you guys, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, I don't friend request people straight away. I definitely start chatting to them through Facebook first, or if I've seen them write something really cool in a group, like, I'll be like, that post was so cool, or whatever. Like, I hope that answers the question. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it definitely did. You're being you, and you're being confident in being you, I think, is the thing I'm hearing there. You know what you've got, and you're being interested. So all those questions, I love your acronym of FORM, that helps you be interested in people and be authentic, yeah, because you're connecting on real things. The second part is the grid. So people love how to, right? Oh my God, people love how to. So everyone's like, oh, what's the grid? Is it digital? Where does it go? What is that thing? So literally, if you see someone that you're following, or do you put intention on them? You put them on the grid and you're kind of like, you're going to be on my team one day. I'm just going to keep drip feeding on you. You're going in the one day pile, or the not now pile, and the red hot. And
yeah.
Can you talk us through what that looks like?
Okay. Well, I used to do it on paper. Like I used, Celine Egan's 30-day grid. I don't know if many people know about that, but you can find it on the virtual office, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
But it's essentially 30 squares on a piece of paper. And I used to just like at the top, I'd write the months, I'd write my goals, like in terms of how many customers I want for the month or how many team I want for the month. I'd put my income goal in the other corner, and like I just stared at this thing all day, every day for the months. And I'd number them 1 through to 30 or however many days in a month. And everyone that I would connect with online by chatting with them, I would just write them in my grid, and I'd use highlighters. Like I'm a little bit OCD, I'm going to admit, but I used to like use different highlighters for like potential teamies and potential customers. So that was the paper way that I did it. I really loved the paper way. I don't like being digital, but I'm about to move across the country, across the world, so I can't just take all my pieces of paper with me now. But if you're a paper person, that works so well, because I'd like do like, of course, like months and months and months of 30-day grids, and then every like once or twice a week I'd do a follow-up on my grids, and I'd go all the way back to like, if it's January now, I'd go back to June last year, and I'd just go to my grid of people who I was talking to back in June and just follow up and just check in to see how they're going. Like there could have been people I'd sent a link to and I totally forgot to follow up with them, or it could have been someone who contacted me with info and then I never got back to them, or whatever. So it's such a good way to go back and just reignite that conversation. But at the moment, I'm doing a little bit different. There's so many ways you can do it, just what works for you. I use Facebook lists. So on Facebook, you can create lists, and you can pretty much group people into lists, and that person can't see that you've put them in a list. So I've got a few lists. One is my no for now, which are people who have said no to me but will say yes later. I've got my potential customers list, so people who I'm talking to about the product or whatever, they're in that list. And then I've got my potential teamies, who are people who, of course, like talking about the business with at the moment. And that's my way of following up with people. So you can, on the left-hand side of your Facebook, you've got to be on a laptop or like a desktop. On the left-hand side, you'll see lists. You've got to go in there, and that you can create as many lists as you like, and then you can add people to those lists, and then you can click on, like, say you click on your no for now list every morning, and everyone who's ever said no to you pops up, like all their posts, and you just go and like and comment on all their stuff, and you'd be really friendly, and you just keep on top of their their care, and you popping up in their notifications, and these people just come back. Because if you're being active, and the way the Facebook algorithm works now, if you're active on Facebook like that, you're going to show up in their newsfeed. So even though they said no to you today, they might say yes to you 6 months down the track. And same with my potential team and potential customer lists. I'm just like hanging out in there. I'm commenting and liking on all their stuff. I'm just making sure that they know I'm around. If it's their birthday, I say happy birthday, and just things like that. And then instead of using like a 30-day grid now, I just literally use my notes section of my Mac. I just write names in there. Just potential team, potential customers, and that's how I do it. I hope that makes sense.
That's awesome. People are loving that. So back to GoPro. So that was a beautiful sidestep. I know so many people got so much out of that, including me. So thanks for letting us indulge there. And keep going. GoPro. We're loving it. We're already over time, but no one wants to get off. I don't want to. Don't go, Shani. Keep going.
Okay, so what else have I got here? I've got some really cool notes on a guy called Elliot Rowe. He's a performance coach, and he said like the 3 things that you really need to focus on when you want to go big with a business like this is identify and failure and discipline. So identify the areas in this business where you self-sabotage. And I know that's really hard to come to grips with. And for me, like, it was really hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I self-sabotage myself in this area, because no one wants to say that they're not perfect. So I was like, I don't self-sabotage anyway. But I realized the way I self-sabotage myself is I write myself these massive to-do lists, and then I totally overwhelm myself, and then I get into inaction. So that's where I kind of sabotage myself. But you need to really realize where you self-sabotage. Like, where do you where are you not congruent with your goals? Like if your goal is to hit 12 clubs this month, like, are you doing the work? Like, are you actually like, are you in chats with all your team? Are you making sure everyone's qualifying? Are you on top of their numbers? Are you running your reports? Because if you're not, but you're trying to get 12 club, then that's not congruent and you're kind of sabotaging that goal. Or say, even if it's a little bit smaller than that, what if you're trying to get to SDVF this month? You know that you need 4,000 points in a team to get there, but like, are you working that? Are you like just waiting for people to come to you? Like, are you out there networking? Are you talking to people? Are you adding people to your list, to your 30-day grid? Because if that's not congruent, then you're kind of sabotaging yourself. So you want your goals and your actions to sort of mesh together and really work with one another. So identify where you're not doing that. Are you like sleeping in? Are you not self-caring? Because if you don't self-care, then there's no way that, if you're not pouring your cup first, there's no way you can pour the cup of others. Like, identify where you're not really doing well in this business, or where are you kind of at working at 80%? Where can you up the notch a little bit? And that's definitely, for me, I was like, I'm not working at 100%. Like, I totally like overwhelm myself with all these things I want to do. And then I'm like, I have too much to do. And I just stare at my screen and I literally can sit there for a long time and be like, okay, snap out of it. So where do you do it? Really identify that. The second thing was failure. So where are you failing right now? Where can you improve? And be coachable and be teachable, and go to your upline and say, I want you to call me on my shit. Like, I want you to tell me where I'm failing and where I can do better. What am I doing that you think I need to do better at? And that's probably the best question you could ever ask someone. How can I do better? And every time I finish an event or a webinar or whatever it is, like, I sit back and I'm like, how could I have done that better? And I'll ask for constructive criticism, because I want to be better at what I do. I want to own this business. I want to be amazing at it. I'm obsessed with being great at it. So I'm always asking people, like, can you please tell me where I can do better? Because I'm not going to get offended. I'll be really offended if you lie to me. So be that person who asks, like, where am I failing at? Where can I do really well? And then the last is discipline. So make the decision to be the most professional in this business. Decide to be more professional than everyone else. And I love this because it's so funny. Like, a lot of people always say, like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky, or whatever they say. Like, I get that all the time, and I'm like, no, I'm not lucky. Like, I actually work my ass off. Like, it might look like my Instagram is a total highlight reel. Like, it looks like I'm traveling all the time and having fun. Like, but behind the scenes, I'm working my ass off, because I realized how hard I had to work for this to work as much as I wanted it to, for me to reach my goals. And if you really want to do well in this business, and I'm kind of talking to the people here that want to be like the 5%ers, the people who want to be 100 club, they want to be NMDs. I'm talking to you guys. Like, if you want that, you need to have discipline. You need to be able to learn that there's sacrifices. You've got to sacrifice. There's going to be moments where, and I mean, I don't have children, so I can't speak about mums. I take my hat off to mums, because I don't know how you guys do it. Like, I just seriously take a moment of silence for all the mums on the team, because you guys are bosses. But there's going to be times in your business where you have to sacrifice whatever it is. You're going to have, like, your friends are out partying, you're going to have to be working. Your friends are out on the weekend, you're going to have to go and get some internet and do some work. Like, and that's definitely what I feel like I did in that year, where I was just going hard. Like, I was working 50 hours a week as a nurse. I was on call all the time. I was working weekends because I needed the money. But when my friends were out partying, I was working. When, my friends were catching up for a coffee, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to miss out because I've got a call to do. When people are like, oh, I can't wake up for that training. It's at midnight for me because it's an overseas training. I was up, my alarm was on so I could wake up. And so I had the discipline, and I think that definitely didn't come straight away, but I learned that discipline is definitely something you're going to need for this business if you really want to make it work. And I don't want to make it sound like it was like this slog and a hustle. I genuinely wanted to work that hard at it. Actually, I was obsessed with the results. So, I just, have a think to yourself, how can you be the best at this? How can you be better than everyone else? What can you do that's just that little bit more than what everyone else is doing, you know, over Christmas time. Like, rather than having 2 weeks off, like, work right through. Why have a break? Like, this is the most amazing and the most fun business. Why would you take a break from it? That's how I see it anyway. I'm out of breath. I'm gonna have a drink. But yeah, I guess they were my main notes that I got from GoPro. I'm trying to see if I've got anything else here that I can share. Maybe I can answer some questions. Maybe that'll be
awesome. There has been some questions, and I just want to pick up on your point, because it's not hustle all the time. It's not 7, 8, 9 years hustle. The first 2 to 3 years are really critical when you decide this makes sense. This is my shortcut, because if I put my head, life is hard. Everything is hard. Family is hard. Job's hard. Making ends meet. Life is hard. This is hard plus, but smarter, because if you can devote that 2 years like you have and miss out on the short-term things, so you work like not many will for 2 years, you can have the life that most won't for the rest of your life. That compounding keeps coming in. Well, once I heard that, I just was obsessed with that. It took me a lot longer than you, because I was one of, you know, the grandmas without social media, and it was one by one and face to face.
hot
Okay,
grandmas.
so we've got, what do you say? So this came up in a few different ways, but basically it's like, what do you say to people when you're following up after 6 months? So you're just kind of reaching out and being you, rather than just straight to the business. Hey, have you changed your mind? Get in my business.
Yeah, and just if someone said no to me 6 months ago, like, I just want to know how they are. Like, what are they doing? What's new? I'm just catching up. Like, a follow-up to me is just like, hey, just checking in, seeing how you're going. We spoke like 6 months ago, and I'm not bringing up the business. I'm not bringing up the products. I'm just genuinely just sparking up a conversation with them. And I love what we had a training last night, and it was said, what was the line? Millions of people out there are crying and dying for your opportunity. And I just thought, oh my God, that's so true. Like, they might say no today, but they're looking for you. Like, there are people out there that they want health, they want energy, they need more finances, they need a community, they need someone to lift them up. And it's up to you to make that person realize that you've got that. You know, there's millions and millions of people out there dying and crying for what you have. So that's why I don't ever not follow up. Like, even if I'm just saying hello, maybe they just need someone to say hello to them. And you know what? In 6 months' time, when they're like, you know what, I need energy, and that crazy chick Shani with the fruit and veggie capsules told me I could get energy, I'm just going to contact her now.
So I love that, because again, we're going back to what I said at the start. That big change was when you go give and you go serve. You don't go to get. You're not focused on the outcome of, I'm going to go and get them. It's you going in with the intention and belief that I have something that is life-changing. I wonder if now, you know, let's be in touch, but I wonder, I'm just still here. It's like, oh my God, we're trying to get our kids into a fancy school at the moment. You have to ring them every week. I don't know what to say every week, but I have to be on their radar. I have to find something that's not awkward, right? It's the same. Be interested and show it, right? There's another question. There's two more. One is from Bronya, just saying, if they finally say, okay, sure, then what do you say or do? What's your next step if they're like, okay, I'll have a look?
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Send them a link. So it
everyone's going to go, what link? What's the magic bullet? What's the most amazing thing in the world that's going to get me my rock star? Can you just like debunk that myth?
It just totally depends what they're interested in. So like, if let's say I'm talking to a mum who has finally decided to take a look at this business, I'm going to go and find a business like online webinar that we've had where there's mums talking about their experience. Or if it's a girl in her 20s who has a job that she's not that keen on, but she wants to find something else. So I'm going to go and find a webinar with her particular. So sometimes like in our group page, like I'll just write something being like, I'm looking for an event with this, this, and this. And there are so many people who do events and they're like, I once shared my story on an event, here's my link. So like that's the beauty of the community that you have as well. Like the people that you work with in your team, like utilize them, ask them. And that's the beauty in events. That's why I love online events and I get all my team to share on them. I think it's one of the highest paying activities to share on events, because your story is, people are not going to buy fruit and veggies in a capsule. They're going to buy you. They're going to buy what you have for them. And if you have an amazing story that they resonate with, that's it. So start getting on events, start finding events that you really like to save for future reference, so that you name them, like, this is a good mum's event, this is a good event for a girl, this is a great event for a guy, like, and just start your little collection, your little library of events.
Beautiful. And another one here from Kate Vane said, what did you change in your personal life routine that had the biggest impact on your business? Is there something that stands out?
I changed a lot. I really love The Miracle Morning. I know people read that book and they don't like it. It really resonated with me because I didn't have a routine in my morning. I wasn't self-caring first thing in the morning. And that's what The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. He talks about just having that little hour in the morning to yourself and filling your cup up first. That really resonated with me. And now, with like no ifs or buts, I don't turn my phone on until I've done my little morning routine. So read that book. It was beautiful for me. It changed my life. It honestly changed my mindset, the way that I look at my day and all of that. And I definitely invested in some personal development coaches, because what I found with this business, and I'm sure everyone on the line will agree with me, this is a business that has a lot of stigma behind it. So you have to be a tough cookie to take it, to cop it on the chin. You're going to get people who don't believe in what you have to offer. They're going to think that you're in some type of pyramid scheme. They're going to throw all these things, objections, criticism at you. So for me, like, that was a really tough part of the business for me. I wasn't dealing well with the non-support. And I have family who don't support me. I have friends who've been in this business for 2 years. My best friends still won't buy the product from me. So I had to get over that. And I feel like the only way that I could get my mindset in a space where I could be okay with that and see the beauty in that and be grateful for that was to get a personal development coach. And so I did. Personally, I use Mitch and Mills from MJB. I know they were at a conference last year. I love them. But there's so many out there. If they don't resonate with you, there are so many coaches that you can use. So that's probably another thing that that was what changed my life. I'm not saying it will change yours, but it definitely helped me.
Oh, that's beautiful. But it's like Jim Rohn says, it's one of my favorite quotes. Your business grows when you grow. There's no way around it. We have to grow, and you're right. There's steps in resilience that we absolutely need to have. So I love that too. Someone else has private messaged me and they want to know your skin routine. I love on Zoom that all the girls get all the important things out of the way, like, I love your nails, can you please show me a colour? What's that lipstick that you're wearing? So it's just,
oh my God,
skin. Because skin was one of your stories, right? That's a true juice plus miracle.
Yeah, I use these fruit and veggie capsules. I think
you can have something for everyone, right?
I used to have such bad skin. I'll show you guys a photo. You won't believe me. I had cystic acne from like ear to ear. And literally the reason why I said yes to this business was because I tried the product and like 4 months in, my skin was like glowing. So, it's that.
There you go. You're not getting the secret.
The skin cleanser is Rationale. If you would love to know, it's Rationale.
Not the cleanser, baby. It's you. You're glowing. Any other questions while we have this absolute goddess online with us? The thing I love about Chani is she's just, you're going to get the truth, right? This is just her journey, real and raw. And I say almost weekly, if not daily, every growth that we have in this business, we must go through a challenge to earn the growth. And, Chani has this beautiful way of calling it at every level another devil. And it's just so true. I don't see anyone slide into the next promotion without some hustle, without a little bit of push and pull and some challenge? Are we going to rise up and grow, or are we going to contract? And this business will give you many chances to grow or retreat. So, you know, what I'm hearing loud and clear is, and what I know to be true, because I see you being relentless at this, you're a personal growth junkie. You're at all the seminars. I mean, hit number one, where do you find Shani? How do you recruit a Shani on your team? You go to an MJB, Money and Mindset, you partner up with her because she's gorgeous, and you keep her on your list for 6 months like Ant did, and just keep saying, you know, like, you're going to look at this, you're going to look at this. Tell me no when you actually know what you're saying no to. You know, I'm going to keep asking because I truly believe this could be something for you. So confidently and elegantly persistent, professionally persistent would be, I think, a big summary on tonight's, you know, big lesson. Recording. I'm definitely recording this. I post it. You all begin harassing me 2 minutes after I press stop, and then it's all on my Wi-Fi. So hopefully the Wi-Fi kicks in before midnight when I'll go get my beauty sleep. Otherwise, you'll find it in there tomorrow before I get another million personal messages. But any last amazing, when you started to make relationships, how do you talk products to people? That's a great question, and I'm going to finish on that one if we can. Do you do the talking, or do you let the links and the messages? Because this must have been tempting, because you're a health coach and you have a health emporium, and you attract other health coaches who are used to being specialists and in their own niche and experts. How do you encourage people to kind of not be so special and expert-like, and maybe when they're building a business, to be duplicatable and let the systems do the work? Can we finish on that? That's a big
yeah.
Actually.
I'm just really big on shutting up. Like, I just say zip it. Like, don't. I remember the first time I heard the word juice plus vomit on someone, and I was like, oh my God, I've been doing that. I juice plus vomit on everyone, because I was the health coach. Like, I knew everything, and I just realized, like, if I just shut up, if I just zip my mouth and say, I'll send you a link, like I'll send you a quick 5-minute video on the omegas, like the amazing video that Linda's made on the omegas. Like, I use that all the time. It's so smart. Or like the capsules, like the trio one, like the premium one, where they're like in the farm and in the factory. I'm like, I'm just going to send you a link. I'll let you check it out. Because what I was finding was I would just get into this massive tangent about how amazing this product is, and it's in a vegan capsule, and it's fruit and veggies, and it's dehydrated, and it's this and that. And I was just like going on, and people were like, oh my God, you're so obsessed with this. Like, I don't want to know any more about it. So when anyone ever asks me, like, can you tell me more on that? I'll always say, you know what, the best way for me to explain it to you is if I just send you a link, because I just won't do the product any justice by explaining it myself. And that saves me from juice plus vomiting on them, and it allows them to watch a really awesome video with great information that's quick and snappy, so that they can just be like, sign me up. Where, like, that was amazing. Where do I get it from?
Oh, I love that. So there's lots of bits to draw out in there. Number one, so Jeff Roberti did this to Cheryl Cortese in her first week back 40 years ago when they started, and it was all, speed rotary dial phones and faxes, literally one by one. Can you imagine if that's how we still had to do network marketing? And he put a Post-it note, because Post-it notes had just come out, and it said WAIT. And she's like, what is this for? Why can't we go, go? And it stands for, why am I talking? If we are prospecting, recruiting, we are not talking. We are never the ones talking. So the person who's talking the most loses. So what you've said really eloquently, and I love the verbiage, because verbiage is really empowering to teach and duplicate, is I just get too excited. I'll be here all day. It just is coming out my ears, all the info of how much I love this product. So I'm going to give you the short version from the experts. You'll really love this video, because based on what you've said about this, I think you'll really resonate with this. Does that make sense? So I, just like Shani, I'm removing myself because I'm just too darn passionate. That's a big selling point. Number two it's duplicatable. So here's another thing, if you haven't already thought of this in the background, they're already learning how we do the business. When someone's asking for info and starting to go through the process of a relationship, they're already learning our steps. Anyone can do this business because anyone can send a link of experts to explain our products or business. Does it make sense? Duplicatable. So well done. And it must have been very tempting to keep vomiting. I still do. Sometimes I just indulge and just go, I just need to vomit. Geez, plus today.
Yeah, I do too. And sometimes, like, you know, even when you were talking about the business, you're chatting to someone about it and they're ready to sign up, but then they ask that question like, okay, so can you explain to me like how we get paid? I've seen so many people who are like, okay, so we get paid 3 different ways, and they start going through and it's just like, no, like shut up. Like there's videos to explain all of that. And I always say, like, you know what, if I explain that to you, I'm going to be here for 30 minutes. Why don't I send you a link so that you can see that yourself? And people are more than happy to watch a professional link on that rather than listen to me stuff it up and fumble and miss things and talk too much. So links, just send the link. Just shut up and send the link.
Beautiful. And so summarizing on that, once we're getting people to that yes and starting up, they're going to have a million questions. So to prevent getting in big dialogue in the question stage, and I got most of this verbiage from Gordon Hester, and I love it, and some from GoPro as well, which is the best gift I can give you in this business is your independence as quickly as possible. And the true magic of this business is simplicity and duplication. So I could go through all of this with you right now, step by step, and that'll be another hour or two for me and then you. But what you're going to do is you're going to do it in your own time and at your own pace, like I promised you. And your independence means we're going to show you, teach you, let you. So we're going to give you simple steps one by one. I promise you all will be revealed as you need to know it, including how we get paid. But there's a few questions that probably make more sense to answer first.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So then you're just kind of defaulting to the system that we know that works, and you remove your overwhelm and responsibility out of it. Yeah? You're going back to that trust and faith in the system that works. So well done. This was amazing. I'm excited. It's 9 o'clock. I'm not part of my usual bedtime. I'm buzzing too much. I'll have to go and journal or something out of that. And I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of everyone. Can everyone give Shani like a big thumbs up, a kiss, a wild wave, jazzy hands, whatever you do, spirit fingers, to show your appreciation. And good luck for her amazing wedding in 5 weeks. Then she's doing a business retreat soon after. She writes it down and she makes it happen. We love you, Shani. Thank you so much. And thanks for everyone who was able to join in and watch the recording. See you guys.
Thanks for jumping on, guys. Bye.
Bye.